Yo, welcome back to another Division 2 video. I hope you guys are enjoying the content on the channel. If you're new, like I always say, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification. But listen, today we got a different type of video for you guys. I'm going to be going over PvP gameplay, tips and tricks, and basically how I play when I'm doing a lot of PvP. So a lot of you guys have been asking me, how do I strafe on console with a controller? A lot of people accuse me of mouse and keyboard. People ask me about my settings and what sensitivity I play on, my aim sensitivity, how do I land headshots. All of these things I'm always getting questions about, so I just thought, why not make a video about it today? Now, of course, I'm not saying I'm the best PvP player. This is just a video because I've just felt like I've had a lot of engagement on this sort of topic. Now, some time ago, I think it was back in TU8 or TU7, I'm not too sure, I did a video about PvP tips, movement and all that sort of stuff. So we're just basically going to cover that all again, but for this kind of patch, because things have changed, builds have changed, all sorts of things have just been shifted around in the game. So without further ado, let's get into this one. So the first thing I'm gonna dive into is your medkit. So you guys know we have to pop our medkits sometimes, but we're just not too sure when and where to do it, because it's all about the positioning. So let's just say, for example, you're in a fight with someone, you're close range with them and they're shooting you and your health is going really low. What's the first thing that comes into your head? The first thing that comes into your head is that you need to pop your medkit. But are you just going to stand there still and pop a medkit right in front of their face? Or are you going to run behind a truck, on the side of a truck to pop it, so you got some sort of cover, so then once you pop the medkit, you can get back to fighting? So for me, I would put my medkit on the side of a truck or the side of a car, so I know that I'm covered. Once I pop that med, I can get back to fighting. However, what I usually do is when I see my armor bar go to red, I know that it's time for me to put my kit. That's just personal preference. Of course, I'm not saying for you guys to do that, but that's just a signal for me. So then I know, all right, cool, I need to heal now. Now, the second thing about medkits is that it's all about the specialization you're using as well. So for example, if you're using a firewall specialization, you guys know it does give us a medkit perk, which heals us for 200% over 10 seconds. So when you pop that medkit, your armor bars is not gonna go all the way up straight away. It's going to heal you bit by bit. So you're going to see the ticks go up and up and up very slowly. So my tip is, if you're using this firewall specialization, for example, and you pop a kit and there's someone running up to you and they're shooting you, don't think you can just stand still or take focus fire and aim at them and carry on shooting to try get them down, because the medkit is not fully healed you yet. So the big tip I would give you guys is, if you're using them sort of specializations with the medkit, pop your med. If someone's about to focus you, roll out the way. When you roll out the way, it's going to give your character some ticks and armor, and it's going to continuously heal quicker because you're not getting shot at. So put that into consideration. Make yourself, aware of them situations, get out of it really fast, and then carry on fighting. Now, my last thing about the medkit is, don't always panic. I know I've said, if I'm on my red bar, I do put my medkit sometimes, but if I'm in a fight and I feel like I can take someone on, I just won't put my medkit and I will continue fighting because I feel like I can get them down. Like you can see in this clip here, I have no armor, it's just my health left, and I can still do a 2v1. So just keep in mind, if you feel confident with yourself and you can continue fighting, then go ahead and do that, man, because it's more worth it. Now, the second thing I wanted to get into for the tips and tricks of this video is reloading. Now, you must be thinking, reloading? Do I really need tips about reloading? Now, there's many things about this. So, for example, if you're in a fight and you need to reload and the other person is shooting you whilst you're reloading, the first thing I say to do is to not stand still or slowly jog left to right while you're reloading. It's just the wrong thing to do, because they can focus you as you're not giving them a challenge. So what I usually do is, when I know I have to reload, I strafe. Now, some of you guys might ask, how do I strafe? We're going to get into that in a second. I'll probably leave that till last, but once you at least learn how to strafe a little bit, you can use that when you are reloading, because when you're reloading and the other person is trying to shoot you, they're missing their shots, which means once you've finished reloading, you can now focus them and probably get them out if you're the better player. So all of that stuff comes into consideration, especially if the other person is using like an armor regen build, maybe a full crit damage build with a lot of armor. You want to make sure that they're not damaging you, because there's a lot of damage that's going to be dealt to you. when you're at a disadvantage. So you don't want that to happen. You want to make sure you reload that gun at the right time and you win that gunfight. But I'm not gonna lie to you, it is all about timing as well, because say if you're reloading your weapon and you're strafing, he's gonna be shooting you. Once you finish reloading, he's gonna be reloading and strafing, and you're gonna try to focus him. So it's all about timing. Maybe move around a little bit until he tries to focus you. It all comes down to, you know, positioning and knowing when to focus and shoot. A lot of that sort of stuff comes into like 1v1s and all of that, but if you're just playing naturally, you'll gradually get used to just doing that in every single fight you come across. The second tip I like to give about reloading is not to reload whilst you're aimed in. Now when I say this, I'm talking about literally aiming your gun, you're shooting, your mag finishes, but you're still aiming and you're reloading at the same time. So your character is aiming in and he's reloading. That's a huge thing not to do, guys, because the other person can just easily focus you. Like I said before, you're not moving, you're standing on the spot, you're aimed in and you're reloading. Sometimes it happens to me, I'm not gonna lie to you, because I'm just trying to focus someone, I'm really trying to get them out, I'm looking at the armor bar, I'm focusing them too much to the point where I'm not aware of my surroundings and what my character is doing. Of course I know not to do it, but it's not my fault that sometimes I pull out the shield and then it reloads, it gets really clocky and you're just trying to press your buttons and things just ain't going your way. You're having a bad day. Sometimes this sort of stuff does happen a lot, but that's why it's important to be aware of your surroundings and what your character is doing. So I think I covered reloading quite a lot. I want to go on to your skills. Now when I say this, I mean knowing when to pop your skills and when not to. Let's use the defender drone as an example. So if you're using a DPS build with unbreakable and you know that you can survive, you got that second life, you want to know when to pop that defender drone. So for example, like I said, you have a DPS unbreakable build and you're using a defender drone. You might go at the checkpoint, see someone straight away, pop your defender drone, go rogue, start shooting, the guy shoots you, he pops it unbreakable and kills you, and you're thinking, what the hell? My defender drone was up, everything, what's going on? He just killed me basically twice. Now what I'm about to say I don't think is a complete fact, I just think it's an opinion based off how I play and what I come up against. What I usually do is I would wait for my unbreakable to proc. Once my unbreakable procs, I will then use my defender drone and move around a little bit so he's missing his shots, and then I would focus him. I do it this way so then I know at least, right, my unbreakable's there for me, let me use that first. Once my unbreakable's gone, I have my defender drone now, or my bleed hive, or whatever it is. That's just the way I do it, that's the way I play, that's my play style, and I thought I'd just put that in a tip for you guys. Now another example for the skills could be the jammer, because a lot of us are using shields in PvP. Sometimes you jam a person and their shield is just not jammed, they're still got it out and you're thinking, what the hell is going on? Sometimes you just got to time it right. You're probably fighting, you're moving around, you can jam them before you even see a skill come out, which means their skills are jammed, they can't bring out their skills yet. You can completely focus them if you got that nice DPS build of armor, for example, and you can get them out before they can even have a chance to pop their skills. A good example of that is having the other team as a healer, because the healer's going to be running with his teammate and he's just about to pop his hive down, but whoops, he's been jammed and now he can't do it. So all of that stuff does come into consideration a lot. I think it's important and I really do think that it does matter a lot in PvP. So the next tip I wanted to get into is all about aiming. Now in Division 2, you guys know that there's not a lot of recoil on many weapons in this game, so in some ways we don't really need to worry about it too much. However, when it comes down to them gunfights and you've lost out because you haven't focused someone at the right time or aimed your gun properly, you can really lose out. So for example, if you're aiming at someone and they're running on the side of you, you're not going to continue aiming and moving in a circle to shoot them. That's just the wrong thing to do. Sometimes I even done it. When I'm panicking and I'm on one shot and I need to get someone out and I just want to get the kill, I'll continue aiming and shooting, but it's the wrong thing to do, guys. You want to stop aiming down your sights and you want to move around a little bit and focus them when you can, especially if they're rolling around all over the place. Sometimes you might see a player doing that with you. You don't want to keep spraying your weapon and running out of bullets. It's just going to put you at a huge disadvantage, because then that means you have to reload, and then when you're reloading they're going to focus you. So that's how it goes. It's all about the mind game. It's all about how you position yourself and what you're doing in these gunfights. This small second tip about aiming is not too major, but I just want to let you guys know what I kind of do. So I'll be shooting at the body, and then when I get their armor to about halfway, I then aim up at the head. And of course, when you hit headshots, you hit more crits, which is more damage, which means you can get them out much quicker. So that's just my tip. Maybe shoot at the body, then go up to the head. That's just how I used to play, and I kind of still do it now and then. It's just, you know, a lot of builds and things have changed in the game to a point where I don't really need to aim at the head on console. I can just focus them normally and get them out. Lastly, the main tip I wanted to go over is strafing. Now, if you guys didn't know what strafing is, it's basically where your character moves left to right, in and out, however you want to explain it. Some people call it chicken dancing, and some people don't even like it. They think I'm being toxic for doing it and that it's not skillful. In my opinion, I think strafing is not an easy thing to do. You gotta get the movement right, you gotta know when to do it, especially in gunfights. You can't just go towards someone and start, you know, strafing around thinking that that's gonna help, because they can still land shots on you if you're not doing it correctly. Now, the reason why I wanted to put this tip in the game is because it has got a lot of engagement onto my channel. A lot of you guys message me here and there, how do you strafe, what's your settings on console, why are you using mouse and keyboard? So it was only right to put this in the video. Now, I'm not saying I'm the best at strafing, I am the king at strafing, but it is important in PvP if you want to stay alive. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a hand cam of me basically just strafing. I'm not going to be actually in a fight, I'm just going to show you the basic movements of a strafe in Division 2 right now. It's only right I do this, so let's just get straight into it. Alright, so we're in the Division, we're all synced in, as you can see right here. I'm moving my character, the controller's moving as well. First thing I'm going to do for you guys is basically show you my settings. So I think it's in controls, camera sensitivity, we're sitting at 20, which is the max, as you can see right there. Really nice for me. This is basically your character moving around, turning around. That's just what I like. The aim sensitivity is at 18. That's just what I feel comfortable with. The dead zone, you guys, if you don't know what dead zone is, you can read through it on your settings, but basically I'm sitting at 2 for that. And also what I like to show you guys is this setting right here. I think it's in gameplay anyway. Is the field of view, and it basically just increases the field of vision. Both of mine are maxed out. It does give that effect. It looks really nice, as you can see here. It might be a little bit different to your settings, so yeah, just make sure if you want to be able to strafe and look nice whilst you're strafing, that setting is needed, I'm not gonna lie. What I like to put across is that when you're using certain guns, not all guns allows you to strafe the way you want to strafe. So for example, with an SMG, I can strafe fluently, but with an LMG, it doesn't feel the same. Or with like an AR, it gets really stiff. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically show you my strafe and what I do when I play. Yeah, some nice spaces here. So this would be my normal strafe. You know, someone's shooting me and I don't want them to get shots on me. This is just my strafe. Now, it doesn't look as fast on our camera and on, you know, your camera if you're doing it. It doesn't look as fast and as fluent, but when you're playing against someone and you see them moving like this, it is really hard for them to land their shots. It can get stuck sometimes. I do have problems, you know, sometimes getting stuck and thinking, oh damn, what am I doing? I'm not even strafing properly. But you know, when I get back into my movement and how I control things on the game, it does really help, man. So guys, that's just how it is with an SMG, but let me just show you the difference with, say, the Bullet King, right? We're going to be able to strafe, but it just doesn't feel the same. If you do it for yourself, it does not feel the same. It feels like you're strafing a little bit slower. So you can see now, you can see how the SMG is much more fluent now. So that's just how I strafe, guys. That is literally it. I think I covered mostly everything I could in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you do in the comment section below. Like, how do you play? What's your play style? If any of these tips actually helped you, do you think that you'll be doing some of these tips I've expressed throughout this video? Just let me know in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, like I always say, man, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. We're so close to 10k subscribers and trying to hit it before the end of the year. I would really appreciate that. And if this helped, smash 100+ likes onto this video, as I was not looking to do this video at all, but I just thought, you know what, let me put it out for the community. It's been Division Addiction. Everyone be safe. Thank you for all the support, and I'm out. Peace.